Hi everyone, welcome to the Joel Pettit Law Vlog. My name is Joel Pettit, and today I wanted to make a video about the MEB rebuttals in the Army's PDES. Why do I want to make this video? Because I recently made a video about the Impartial Medical Reviews, and this is the other half of that equation. All my clients, soldiers, Marines, sailors, airmen alike, they all ask about this process in pairs because they usually go together, but not always. They don't have to. So let's talk about this. In AR 635 TAC 40, that's the PDES manual, it details what exactly an MEB rebuttal is. So when a soldier is presented with their MEB report, they are given an option and they have 5 days, 5 days to review that report. And when I say 5 days, I mean calendar days, to review the report and then elect one of three things, Three. That is, whether to sign the report and say it's good to go, send it to the IPEB, 2, to elect an IMR, an Impartial Medical Review, or 3, to simply elect an MEB rebuttal. So, why do people simply choose to go straight to the MEB rebuttal? This is why. Because an MEB rebuttal is more about taking issue with the entire report, not just the medical premise that upon which the narrative summary is based. And again, a lot of individuals will say, why take one bite at the apple when you have two? Meaning, if you do an IMR and you question the medical bases, once that's done, so in the Army, the convening authority has, again, 5 calendar days to appoint an impartial medical professional to do the review and then present it to the convening authority. Then the convening authority has 7 calendar days to review it, look at the recommendations, and then see if it's basically going to make any changes, and then present it back to the member. After that, the member then has 7 days to accept the results and again sign the MEB report with the IMR included, or at that point submit a MEB rebuttal. So you can see from that line of logic that you could take one bite at the medical side of the house and then take a bite at the non-medical side of the house, or in an MEB rebuttal you can also take a second bite at the medical side of the house to an extent, because if nothing really changed, it's going to be difficult to take a second bite at something that you already know the answer to. So this is why a lot of individuals, when they look at this process, they think of it as almost like the medical side and the non-medical side, even though the MEB rebuttal covers both. The only difference is that when you do an MEB rebuttal, the convening authority does not have to appoint an impartial medical professional to do a review of anything you bring up. And that's key. That makes or breaks this analysis. Because if someone says, well, I don't want to go through the rigmarole, let me just do the MEB rebuttal. If you have a serious issue with the narrative summary and the underlying medical issues therein, that is the worst strategy you could take. However, if you did, let's say you didn't think you had an issue and you went to go, you elected to do an MEB rebuttal and you went to go see your counsel, and your counsel said, hey, did you realize that there's this issue with the medical side? And you didn't. Well, the IMR option's gone. Well, who cares? It doesn't mean you don't bring it up. You may bring it up in the MEB rebuttal. It may not get an impartial medical provider assigned to then review it, but you're definitely going to want to bring it up because, and this is the strategy behind it, if you go to when you do have to go to the IPEB, or if you go to a formal board hearing, of course the adjudicators are going to ask, well, if you want to add X, how come you didn't bring up X earlier? Why wait till now? And that is an acceptable question, because it calls into question your motivations for bringing things up and timing. So it's a credibility question. So it's a very serious question. But at the IPEB, a step before, they won't know what you're even talking about if you don't bring it up. So you want to make sure you bring it up so you don't have a medical, let's say, condition that is ruled on by the MEB, you stay silent. Then is ruled on a second time by the IPEB, and then you bring it up at the FPEB. So you can imagine it's a figurative momentum that's building, that you're now pushing up against. And you don't want to put yourself in that position. So that's why the MEBR or the MEB rebuttal is a very good strategic tool, but it serves a different purpose than the IMR. So when you're thinking about IMRs, think medical. When you're thinking about MEB rebuttals, think non-medical and then medical light. That way you don't automatically forget that MEB rebuttals can talk about medical issues. They just won't be addressed with the depth of an IMR, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't bring them up. So I hope this video has helped. I know this can be confusing, but the best thing you can do when you have these kind of questions is reach out to counsel, visit my website, call me, shoot me an email. I deal with this very, very often because a lot of people get confused by it. And there is no shame, especially in the PDES process or the IDES process, depending on what service you're in, of reaching out and saying you need help. Because if this were not complicated, there would not be hundreds, if not thousands of pages of regulations governing it. So if you're confused, you're not alone and you're in very good company. Thanks for watching. Hope this helped. Have a great day, everybody.